Hello, everybody. It is Michael Fletcher, and welcome to a very special edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk as we will be previewing tonight Hell in a Cell. It's going down tomorrow night from the brand new Little Caesars Arena in Detroit, Michigan, exclusively on the WWE Network and on all major pay per view providers around the world. This is going to be an interesting night. SmackDown Live is at it again, and we are definitely going to set the table tonight, and we are looking for what undoubtedly could be a history-making event. History-making in the grounds that for the first time ever, the SmackDown Tag Team titles will be contested in Hell in a Cell. There's really nothing more to say other than that. Of course, WWE title fight will be on the line as well, and we got so much more to talk about in this event. But I will say this, it will be undoubtedly one hell of an event, to say the very least. And we are going to dive right in. Dee Woodson and Anthony Florio are with me right now. We're hoping to get Michael Bullock. I don't know if we are or not. We're, like I said, we're just hoping for the best. So, with that said, we are going to start it off. And this is going to be the start of the Hell in a Cell event. Let's see. Okay, here we go. And the Hell in a Cell, it starts off with. All right, here's the match that pretty much is basically a. Of course, it's a pre-show fight. We don't really go deep into any pre-show matches, but we'll go whatever the case may be. Chad Gable and Shelton Benjamin are going to team up. They're going to go up against Mojo Rawley and Zack Ryder, the Hype Bros, in a one-on-one matchup. All right, so now let's get into the main card. And it starts off with, well, a match that was made a couple of weeks ago, and it hasn't really gotten that much traction, but nonetheless, it is going to happen. And more importantly, we are about to witness a little history. Dolph Ziggler is going to go one-on-one with the man that's finally going to make his in-ring pay-per-view debut on the SmackDown brand. Ladies and gentlemen, it is none other than the glorious Bobby Roode. Now, of course, the storyline goes is that Bobby Roode has been, when he made his debut on SmackDown Live, it was with a lot of fanfare, a lot of excitement, a lot of people were very thrilled. But after the fact, Dolph Ziggler's been mocking the WWE Universe, saying that, oh, I got these great ideas, I need to reinvent myself. I got to figure out what I want to do in wrestling and do some better things. And, but he's been mocking certain WWE superstars. Well, Bobby Roode's had enough, and he's like, you know what? You've been mocking all these people, and look, nobody really cares if you're mocking them or not. At the end of the day, I'm gonna deal with you, and I'll deal with you my way, the only way I know how. So this is what we're gonna get: Bobby Roode versus Dolph Ziggler one-on-one. I'm gonna go with Bobby Roode. I think Bobby Roode's gonna win this match. It ain't gonna be the most glamorous or most amazing fight whatsoever, but whatever the case may be, it'll be a decent match. Anthony Floyo, come on in, my friend. It's all yours.
Before we start, I just got a message from Michael Bullock. He's out right now, so it's very unlikely he'll be on the show tonight. He should be with us tomorrow night for the recap. So no Michael Bullock tonight. Sorry to say, he just messaged me a moment ago. So I know MF was looking for him. So all right. So with that being said, yes, it is your ridiculously overgood brother Anthony Florio here with you, and yep, Bullock just messaged me back. I'll be on tomorrow night. Okay, very good. So now that elephant in the room's out of the way, let's get into it. I agree, MF. I got Bobby Roode winning this as well. I mean, his first pay-per-view match on the main roster. Dolph Ziggler's been phoning it in. We all know that. And I mean, what else is there to say? I mean, say what you want. I mean, Ziggler has been absolutely, getting, on our nerves, with all this, with all these entrances and the whole 9 yards, and it's really, rubbed a lot of us the wrong way. And I read a dirt sheet saying that, he's been phoning it in. So, anyways, do you remember that time when Shinsuke Nakamura's pay-per-view debut was a victory against Dolph Ziggler? That's exactly what this match will be for Bobby Roode. Dolph Ziggler just doesn't have what it takes to overcome these NXT guys with their fancy entrances. Unless the idea, unless the idea is to put Ziggler in a hole he won't climb out of, he pretty much has to win here. But that way he can claim he was right, and the chase for Roode will be to prove with his later triumph that Ziggler was wrong all along. But, this time next year, the former NXT champ will probably be the first guy future NXT champs beat when they come to SmackDown Live. But for now, that's Dolph's job. So there's nothing really to say on it. Should be a solid match at best. But Bobby Roode, that's my pick. I'm going with the glorious one. The longest TNA heavyweight champion of all time, 251 days. The glorious one. So nothing more to say. Give me Bobby Roode in what I hope will be a solid match. So anything less than a solid match will be disappointed because these two guys can work. So please let this be at least 2.5 to 3. I'm happy if it's that. I'll be even happier if it's better, but I'm thinking it'll be 2.5 to 3 at the absolute best. So Bobby Roode wins. Dee Woodson, let's get your thoughts.
Yeah, I'm going to go with the majority and say Bobby Roode is going to go over Ziggler. Because I think just about every single one of us is pretty much done with Ziggler and his antics and phoning all this in and all this stuff. I mean, just we're all done with it. So Roode over Ziggler. Enough said. Move on.
All right, the next match we're going to talk about is another one-on-one match. Randy Orton's going to go one-on-one with Rusev. As many of you guys know, at SummerSlam, Randy Orton defeated Rusev in under 10 seconds. That was a little bit of a preempt because of the fact that Rusev jumped Orton before the fight. There was a little outside the ring action. Once it went into the ring, RKO out of nowhere. That ended the fight. 1, 2, 3. Well, Rusev got a measure of revenge on Orton a couple of weeks later after Rusev challenged Orton to a fight. Well, a little help from Aiden English. Yes, the guy that sounds like Luciano Pavarotti or Robert Goulet if you're Anthony Florio's fan. But at the end of the day, Rusev got the win back. And now, technically, this is a rubber match between these two men. What's going to happen? Well, we'll find out. Anthony Florio take this one for a spin. Randy Orton versus Rusev.
Well, I'll tell you, MF. If you're gonna throw, I'm gonna throw in two more great male vocalists that Aiden English sounds like to me. These two men, came from my favorite childhood show, Mr. Rogers' Neighborhood. The late great John Reardon and Francois Clemens. I mean, those two guys. I can throw Aiden English up there with those guys because I hope he's on there tomorrow night, and I hope he does one of those numbers so we can have some funny commentary fun, MF and Hitman style. But that's a story for another day. But anyways, this is a tough one to call. It really, really is. I mean, both men buried each other in seconds. I mean, Orton buried Rusev in 10 seconds at SummerSlam. I mean, SummerSlam was not a good night for SmackDown Live. I'm going to tell you that right now. I mean, everybody and their mother knows Raw was the superior brand the night of SummerSlam. but this is now the chance for SmackDown Live to get back on track. And Ziggler and Rude, I got a good feeling about that. And I think this will be a much more competitive match. Call me crazy, but I think this is going to be a more competitive match this time around. I really do. Rusev has been in one role since he debuted in May of 2013 in NXT. So a chance to see him work as a babyface would be welcome. He would likely be great at it, but I am loving his new alliance with Aiden English and don't want that hurt by a change right now. There must be more Rusev days before Rusev becomes a true Bulgarian hero. But I'm going with Randy Orton to win this match. I got this feeling they're going to want to put Orton over. The whole RKO out of nowhere stuff, and I think he will win this because of that. And that's really all I can say on that. So it should be an okay match, but I think it'll be more competitive than their previous two bouts. But I think in the end, Orton goes over, and I think it will be an RKO out of nowhere. So, and Rusev will continue to be on the decline. So, nothing more to say here. Didi, what's in your thoughts?
Yeah, I'll agree with that. That I think Orton will go over in the end. Although from a lot of other dirt sheet sites that's done a lot of the predictions, a lot of them have gone with Rusev, but I don't think Rusev's going to pull it off. So enough said here. Fletch is yours.
All right, I kind of have to go with you guys. I'll go with Randy Orton here as well. Yeah, Orton's definitely he's not happy with the role that he's in right now. He wants to go back to a heel. Maybe you do a double reverse. I mean, have Rusev come off as a sympathetic figure and maybe he becomes the face, or turns into the monster heel. Remember, they did that not too long ago in I shouldn't say NXT, in 205 with Enzo and Neville. It looks like they're doing a role reverse on that. Neville, now the former king of the cruiserweights, now is looking like the sympathetic figure, and Enzo is becoming a complete and utter, well, I don't even think I'm allowed to even say the word. I want to try to keep it as PG as I can. At least tonight I want to. Because I know there's a lot of kiddies out here, so I don't want to get myself in too much trouble here. So let's just move on. Now we're going to get into some serious matches, guys, because we got title fights. That's right, and we're going to start it off with the United States Heavyweight title. The champion, the phenomenal AJ Styles, goes up against Baron Corbin for the U.S. title. Didi Woodson, come on in, my dear. Give me your thoughts on the U.S. title fight.
Yeah, this one is definitely going to be one to see, because you have Baron Corbin, who's, pretty much attacked Dillinger every time he's tried to go in for this title, and now he's finally won the chance to go in against AJ. So this is going to be a very interesting match, I hope. And, I hope that nothing goes super bad with it. As for who's going to win, I'm wanting to say that I hope it's AJ that's going to win, but something in my gut says Corbin's going to walk out with the title. So unfortunately, I have to go with Corbin on this. So not going to say too much more. I toss it to one of you guys.
All right. Wow. I'm a little shocked. I'm actually really shocked. I was not expecting that. I'm going to go with AJ Styles, though. I think AJ will keep the belt. I don't know. I just feel like they want to continue to build Corbin up, have him work his way up. Right now, I just do not see him winning this belt just yet. So I'm going to disagree with Didi respectfully and say AJ Styles successfully defends the title. Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
Absolutely. I couldn't agree more. I've got the phenomenal AJ Styles retaining the United States Heavyweight Championship in what I think will be a solid match here. the worst thing about SmackDown post Superstar Shakeup back in April is that the great AJ Styles has been written out of the WWE title picture so that he can carry around a secondary title while having average matches. If you watch 2016 AJ Styles compared to this year, it's not even close, because in 2016, he had one of the best years I've ever seen in terms of match quality. This year, not so much. Aside from my WWE match of the year at the Royal Rumble with John Cena, and he had the best match at WrestleMania, too, against Shane O'Mac. A title change is possible because Corbin has yet to win a title on the main roster, and he failed his Money in the Bank cash-in, so having him beat Styles for the title would help his status in the company. Since Styles just ended that U.S. title feud with Kevin Owens, it probably means he'll hold on to the title for a few more months. Corbin may be the one that beats him for it, but not just yet. So I'm going with the phenomenal AJ Styles to successfully defend the United States Heavyweight Championship. So nothing more to say here, MF. Let's move on to our next match.
And this one is actually, all right, I'm actually going to flip the script here because I was going to lead off with something different for Dee Dee Woodson that's specifically for her. So I'm going to flip the script. I'm going to wait down that one, and I'm going to get into this next match. And it's one of the big ones for the WWE title. That's right. I'm saving a couple of other fights for much later. But for the WWE Championship, the big one, Jinder Mahal puts the title on the line against Shinsuke Nakamura. Anthony Florio, you lead off.
All right. Thank you very much, MF. What an honor to lead off on the WWE Championship, the most prestigious title in all of the WWE. I mean, you heard me preach about this past Tuesday night on Smack Talk, and I'm going to do it again here and now. The one thing I really wish that Shinsuke Nakamura would have done was preach about how winning the WWE Championship would have meant the world to him. He hasn't done that yet, but, you know, it is what it is. So, yeah, so getting my notes for this bout here. Okay. I predicted Shinsuke Nakamura was going to win the WWE Championship at SummerSlam because I think the SmackDown brand has become worse since Jinder Mahal won the WWE Championship from Randy Orton in Backlash in May in Chicago. While I understand WWE wanting to try something different by putting over Mahal in a big way, it's clearly not working because attendance is down at SmackDown shows and he has not had any standout matches. After a while, Vince McMahon used to cut the cord with a guy, but in Jinder's case, it keeps going. There's also news out this week that WWE has 2 Raw brand house shows in India this December, and Jinder is going to be a part of it, even though he's on SmackDown Live. Is it likely that WWE is going to take the title off of him when they have shows in India? I really doubt it. It's possible that Nakamura wins here and wins the belt, and Mahal wins it back at one of the India shows. But I think it's more likely that Mahal finds a way to retain the title again, thanks to cheating from the Singh brothers watching his back. Their match at SummerSlam was poor. Since then, they've wrestled a bunch at live events and likely have better chemistry, so it should be a better match. I just don't think their styles mesh that well, or if Mahal is capable of really having a championship-worthy match. I'll go with Mahal retaining the title. If Nakamura wins, it will probably be a disqualification or something cheap like that. So, with that being said, I'm going with the modern-day Maharaja to retain the WWE Championship, like it or not. So, Dee Dee Woodson, your thoughts on the big one?
You know, like I said, I've looked at a lot of the sites for the predictions, and I mean they've gone back and forth on this, almost 50-50 on Nakamura winning it and Jinder winning it. So, just like in the last one, I want AJ to win, but my gut tells me with Corbin, I want Shinsuke to win on this, but I got to go with my gut and go with Jinder on this. But I really do want to see see it the other way around, and even on AJ Corbin, I'll eat crow just to see AJ win because, like I said, I would rather see that happen. But I'm going with my gut on these, and we'll see what happens. So Fletch, it's yours.
All right. And you know what? I'm going to be very honest. I think Jinder Mahal is going to win it. I think he's going to successfully defend the title. We're just going to dive right into the next fight. And this is going to be the last of the regular matches for the WWE SmackDown Women's title. The reigning champion, Natalya, will put the title on the line, and she is going to defend it against Charlotte Flair. Dee Woodson, I'm going to let you lead off on this. Our resident expert in everything women's division, my dear. The women's title match on SmackDown Live. Two really good quality professional wrestlers battling it out for the title. So, who you got?
Okay, yeah, these two ladies, all through history of their matches, that they have had strong matches. They've been able to actually give us something very entertaining, but in every single one of them, we've had a trending pattern, and that's that Charlotte ends up winning. And I have a feeling that's going to happen again, tomorrow night on the pay-per-view, that Charlotte Flair is going to walk away with the title. And I hate to pull this plug, but I have a feeling that Carmella, if Charlotte wins, Carmella is going to try to cash it in. Whether she's successful or not, I'm not going to go there. Honestly, I hope she's not, but I'm not going to tackle that because that'll start something I don't want to start tonight. So put me down for Charlotte, and we'll move on to whoever's next.
All right. You know what, Dee? I'm actually going to ask you this legitly, and I'm just going to ask you this point blank. Yes or no answer on this. Do you think Carmella cash in tomorrow night?
I said I think she will, yeah.
You think she will? Okay.
I said that. Yeah, I said that in my little thing there.
Okay.
I think she will, but I'm not going to predict whether she'll win it or not because
you don't want to go there. Okay.
Yeah, I don't want to go there.
All right, fair enough. I'm going to disagree. I think Natalya is going to successfully defend the title. No, I don't think there's going to be a cash in tomorrow night. I think they're going to wait for for maybe a bigger pay-per-view at that point. At the end of the day, I believe that Natalya will win. I'm going to say by cheating. I think there's going to be some shenanigans in that fight. But ultimately, I have Natalya winning the match, successfully defending the title. Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
Charlotte Flair and Natalya are going to make history tomorrow night, MF and DD. I got a little Tony fun fact for you that I came across a little bit earlier on. This is going to be the fourth different championship that Charlotte Flair and Natalya will be competing for in a singles bout. Back in NXT, they battled for the NXT Women's Championship. You remember, Charlotte had her father, Ric Flair, in her corner, and Natalya had her uncle, Bret Hart, in her corner for that bout. And then they competed for the Divas Championship. And then they competed for what was, at first, the brand new WWE Women's Championship, which eventually became the Raw Women's Championship. And now, here they are, competing for their fourth different championship, the SmackDown Women's Championship. How's that for a little fun fact, huh? But nonetheless, let me get my notes on this one. These two always have good matches. That's why WWE is going to this match again after they feuded last year when Charlotte was the WWE Women's Champion. Their history of matches has seen Charlotte win nearly every time. So the story should be about Natalya, the champion, wanting to prove herself. Sadly, the creative team hasn't told much of a story. This prediction pains me because I'm a big supporter of Natalya for many years, and I'm so happy she won the women's title from Naomi at SummerSlam. But I feel like it's going to be a short reign that ends here. There's a lot of sympathy for Charlotte right now since her dad, Ric Flair, has had, he had that major health scare a couple months ago. He's doing better, but the fans obviously support her a lot. If Natalya holds on, I think it would only be a disqualification type finish because WWE will want to keep Charlotte strong and then do a title change when they have another bout. But nonetheless, I'm going to pick Charlotte here just because I think Natalya won the title from Naomi so that she could drop it to another face in Charlotte Flair. So, winner and new SmackDown Women's Champion, Charlotte Flair, becoming the second woman to win both the SmackDown and Raw Women's Championships, joining Little Miss Bliss, Alexa Bliss. So, that's my story. I'm sticking to it. Charlotte Flair, the new champ. So, MF, I believe it's time for us to, go down there.
Lower the cage. It's about to get real. Hell in a Cell is about to commence. The most demonic structure in professional wrestling is about to be played out, and 2 matches will happen in that sadistic structure. The first one is pretty simple. It's going to be a one-on-one affair that was driven by a war. Kevin Owens and Shane McMahon will wage war in Hell in a Cell because of the fact that this battle started when Kevin Owens attacked Vince McMahon. When that happened, that is what triggered this battle to go down. Well, at the end of the day, it's only going to be one. And in my prediction, my opinion, I believe Kevin Owens will win the match. He will win Hell in a Cell. He will defeat Shane McMahon because I think there's going to be something more upward and onward for Kevin Owens as it pertains to him leading into WrestleMania. So as much as I may disagree with this one, I got Kevin Owens winning the match. Nothing more to say. Anthony Florio, I give it to you.
Okay. Wow. I got quite a bit to say on this one. Had a lot of well, I was surprised you didn't save this for the end, MF, because I got this feeling this is going to be the main event of the show for some odd reason. A big reason why this is going to main event this show is because it has been built up very well. Kevin Owens has been whining about being on SmackDown Live since the day he got there in April. As the summer progressed, Owens' feud with AJ Styles leading to controversial referee decisions that caused Shane to intervene as the commissioner of SmackDown Live. From there, things escalated with Shane trying to keep things fair during Owens versus Styles, and when Styles ultimately won the feud, as well as the U.S. title, Owens blamed Shane for it. That led to the September 5 SmackDown Live, where Owens crossed the line by saying that Shane was a disgrace to his family, and he kept mentioning Shane's kids, and that led to Shane attacking Owens. On the following week, Vince McMahon appeared on the show to tell Owens he would face Shane O'Mac at Hell in a Cell. Owens was excited about it, and when he was assured he could do whatever he wanted to with McMahon, Owens nailed Vince with a headbutt, and it led to Vince rolling around in the ring as a bloody mess, while Owens finished him off with a bullfrog splash. It was one of the best segments on SmackDown this year. Both men have done well to build this matchup. Shane is a non-wrestler who performs well on the big stage, so clearly Vince and other WWE officials believe Shane will do his part. Owens is a heel who knows how to get heat, but he also gets cheered a lot because fans know he's a great performer. Shane is clearly in babyface role. He's well-liked because of his ability to take risks in matches like this. I don't think his character is that entertaining, but he's earned the respect of the fans, and that's why they love him. I feel like the crowd may be dead for some parts of the match, although I fully expect some entertaining high spots that the crowd will be very much interested and invested in. It should be a violent, physical match. It's a Hell in a Cell match that will see them use tables, chairs, kendo sticks, and whatever other wrestlers they want. There is also a very good chance that they will leave the cell to fight outside the ring, too. We also need to remember what happened the last time Shane had a Hell in a Cell match at WrestleMania 32 last year in Dallas. A lot of us figured Shane was going to jump off the cell, and when he did it, that was one of the loudest reactions we ever heard. Not just by the fans, but also the commentary, especially Michael Cole. But the visual of that leap by Shane crashing through the table was insane. I know they can put padding and make it safe, but it was still crazy to even do it. I think they'll have a fun match with a few big high spots. I really hope Shane doesn't jump off the cell again or take a bump off the top. Going off the side is probably fine, but there's no need to do something riskier than that. Shane is 47 years old and needs to be smart when it comes to those huge spots. There are rumors that Kevin Owens may be moving back to Monday Night Raw after this show, which I don't agree with. I'm not sure if there's any validity to those rumors or if it's just random guessing by people. I think Owens should remain on SmackDown Live because the roster is already thin on the heel side, and if they were to lose him, it would hurt. As for what's next, a feud between Kevin Owens and Shinsuke Nakamura would be cool to see. As for Shane, he'll probably stay in his role as SmackDown Commissioner. It's possible he'll be involved in a traditional Survivor Series elimination match next month, but I can also see Shane staying out of the ring until the next WrestleMania. Perhaps he'll turn heel to do something different. There aren't any rumors of it. I just think it would be an interesting twist to have Shane as a heel with Daniel Bryan as a face while they bicker as the guys in charge. You know, a lot like Eric Bischoff and Stone Cold on Raw a number of years ago. But at the end of the day, I agree with you, MF. I'm going with Kevin Owens to win. There's no reason for the non-wrestler Shane to win the match. Since Owens attacked Vince, somebody could say that's a reason to give Shane the win because Shane was seeking revenge for what happened to his father. But I think Owens losing to a non-wrestler would be a bad idea. Put Owens over and let them move on from there. Second best fight of the night, I think it's going to be. I think the other one's going to steal the show. So give me Kevin Owens. So Didi Woodson, your thoughts on Kevin Owens and Shane O'Mac inside Hell in a Cell?
Yeah, I have Owens over Shane, although, you know, it's another one of these where, you know, I would like to see Shane pull it off just to defend his family and stuff, just because that's who I am. You know, I like to make sure, you know, that I'm there to defend my family and everything. But at the same time, I mean, you know, Shane's is up in age and everything. I don't think it's going to actually happen where, you know, Shane's going to pull it off because he hasn't had the best of luck in Hell in a Cell matches lately. So enough said here. So Fletch, let's move on.
This one I believe should be the main event. And because of the fact of the magnitude of this moment, I think it definitely deserves to be the main. What I believe should be the main event is a historic Hell in a Cell match for the SmackDown Tag Team titles. The New Day versus the Usos. Anthony Florio, I give you the ball on this one. You lead off.
Man, WWE Championship, now the Hell in a Cell for the Tag Team Championship. Wow. I'm glad the rotation worked out this way. That's awesome. Anyways, there's nothing left for me. There's nothing to say on this except for me, this is going to steal the show. I predict this is going to be the fight of the night. I think it's going to be 4.5, teetering on a 5-star classic. This is definitely going to be a match of the year contender for sure. It's a good thing that this match is going to be inside Hell in a Cell because this feud needed something extra on it. I really enjoyed the Sin City street fight they had in Las Vegas a few weeks ago, as well as the match at SummerSlam, the only good match that SmackDown Live even had at SummerSlam. No, it wasn't even on the main card. Jesus, but it feels like the end of the rivalry, whether WWE wants to admit it on television or not. They've wrestled each other for long enough with several title changes, and I'm not sure what else they can do. I'm not going to say I've gotten sick of their matches because I still enjoy the hell out of them. This should be a great match, too. It's just a case of wanting to see these teams face others. Looking elsewhere in the division, there are babyface teams waiting in the wings like Breezango and Sheldon Benjamin and Chad Gable. So it makes more sense for the Usos to get the gold. Normally, I would use that logic to predict the title change. Not this year in WWE, though. They like to go against what makes sense. So I'll pick the New Day to retain, even though there are a lack of challengers on the SmackDown roster. So winners and still your WWE SmackDown Tag Team Champions, the New Day. So nothing more to say. Didi, what's in your thoughts on this history-making Hell in a Cell match?
Definitely history making. Definitely going to be, you know, one of the top matches of the night. Definitely, you know, something I think just about everybody's looking forward to because this rivalry has gone on for so long. But at the same time, I kind of hope this is the last of it, even though, you know, we don't have a lot of tag teams over on SmackDown. But there is other contenders there that they could possibly bring up to do it. to fight with the Usos. So we'll just have to see what happens on that, or New Day, But in my case, I think I'm going to go with the New Day on winning this. So enough said. Fletch is yours.
I'm going to go with the New Day as well. I think the New Day will successfully defend the tag team titles because I believe there's a new tag team that might be coming very soon to SmackDown Live, a team that was used to be in NXT. I will hope that they bring these two guys on and a certain legendary manager. If they do, I think that might be a game changer for SmackDown Live and a must-needed game changer in the tag team division. All right, guys, final thoughts, your expectations on the event. D. Woodson, I'm going to let you start off.
We have a jam-packed card here. There's not really any super low matches in this unless you classify Rude and Ziggler, only because Ziggler is, not really worth talking about right now. But I think this is going to, if they play this right and they do everything we've pretty much in the last few shows kind of told them to try to work on, then maybe we might have a half decent pay-per-view here coming out for SmackDown. I'm gonna play safe here and go with about a 7 out of 10 as my expectation for it. But I'm hoping, that I'm a little bit wrong on that, and that it ends up being better than I'm predicting. So enough said for me. When do you guys take it?
All right, Dee. My expectations is I'm going to say about a 6 to 7 out of 10. I think overall, the way SmackDown has been booking lately, it's been okay. It hasn't been that that great. I'm hoping for something better. I'm hoping that they deliver in the clutch, in some good moments. I think there's going to be some good matches. I'm just hoping that in the grand scheme of things, it's better. But, the expectations are a little high for SmackDown because Raw had such a decent pay-per-view last time out that you would hope that SmackDown answers the bell with a pretty good event. So we'll wait and see what happens. Nothing more to say. So with that said, I want to give it to Anthony. Anthony, close the show.
Absolutely. I'm leaning towards the same way as well. Just a couple of extra notes I want to give on on a couple of the matches that I didn't really get a chance to do. For Rude and Ziggler, it's pretty simple. It was a few months ago when Ziggler put over another newcomer from NXT and Shinsuke Nakamura. Ziggler is going to lose in a glorious way to Rude to give Rude his first pay-per-view win. Should be a good match between two veterans who are very capable of putting on an entertaining match when they are given time to do so. It'll probably be about 10 minutes with Rude winning clean. And as far as the Rusev and Orton match goes, I mean, we know Orton got the win at SummerSlam in that match that went only 10 seconds. And Orton needed that win because it's been a bad year for him since he lost his feud with Bray Wyatt and Jinder Mahal. And both of those feuds were awful too. And that's why I expected Orton to win. Rusev got some revenge, with that impromptu win in 10 seconds, followed by a massive celebration that Orton ruined last week. Rusev needs to win more as the younger guy who's on the rise, but that doesn't mean he's going to get it. If he does, it'll probably be a cheap win, and I'm going with Orton just because that's how those matches tend to go. And as far as the overall event goes, it feels like it will be an average show that really doesn't have a standout match. I mean, with the exception of the Hell in a Cell match. I mean, let's be realistic. I mean, that's how I feel on that. Yeah, it feels like it'll be an average show with other than the Hell in a Cell matches. It doesn't have a standout match. I expect everything to get a decent amount of time, so nothing is going to feel rushed. It just doesn't come across like a great card with only one match that stands out more than most. If there is a show stealer, then it's probably the tag team title match, just because of how good those teams are. To be honest, I was more excited about Raw's No Mercy show 2 weeks ago than I am for Hell in a Cell. So I hope they prove me wrong. I really want to see SmackDown Live do well, but I'm leaning more towards that 6 to 7 range as well. So prove me wrong, SmackDown Live. That's all I got to say. Prove me wrong. Wrap it up, MF.
All right, and we're going to do that tomorrow night. Around this time, we're going to have the recap of Hell in a Cell. Anthony Floyo, Michael Bullock, and Dee Dee Woodson will be running a two-person weave, and they'll be giving you their thoughts on the entire event. I'm just going to be the moderator. I'm just going to give you the results, who won, and we're just going to go from there. So until then, we will see you guys tomorrow night for another edition of the Cerebral Smack Talk, a recap of this event. Nothing more to say. For Anthony Floyo, for Dee Dee Woodson, I'm Michael Fletcher. You know the routine. Hug the hand pounds. We're out. Have a good night, everybody, and so long for now. Bye-bye.